in the so let's continue to read in the book of Joshua, chapter 12 in the King James Version. Now these are the kings of the land which the children of Israel smote, and possessed their land on the other side Jordan toward the rising of the sun, from the river Arnon unto Mount Hermon, and all the plain on the east. Sihon, king of the Amorites, who dwelt in Heshbon, and ruled from Gerar, which is upon the bank of the river Arnon, and from the middle of the river, and from Hath-Galeed even unto the river Jabbok, which is the border of the children of Ammon, and from the plain to the sea of Chinneroth on the east, and unto the sea of the plain, even the salt sea on the east, the way to Beth Jeshimoth, and from the south under Ashdoth Pisgah, and the coast of Og, king of Bashan, which was of the remnant of the giants that dwelt at Ashtaroth and at Edrei, and reigned in Mount Hermon, and in Salcah, and in all Bashan, unto the border of the Geshurites and the Maccathites, and Hath-Galeed, the border of Sihon, king of Heshbon. Them did Moses, the servant of the Lord, and the children of Israel smite. And Moses, the servant of the Lord, gave it for a possession unto the Reubenites, and the Gadites, and the half-tribe of Manasseh. And these are the kings, rereading from verse 7. Okay. And these are the kings of the country which Joshua and the children of Israel smote on this side Jordan on the west, from Baal-Gad in the valley of Lebanon, even unto the Mount Halak that goeth up to Seir, which Joshua gave unto the tribes of Israel for a possession according to their divisions. In the mountains, and in the valleys, and in the plains, and in the springs, and in the wilderness, and in the south country, the Hittites, the Amorites, and the Canaanites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites. The king of Jericho, 1. The king of Ai, which is beside Bethel, 1. The king of Jerusalem, 1. The king of Hebron, 1. The king of Jarmuth, 1. The king of Lachish, 1. The king of Eglon, 1. The king of Gezer, 1. The king of Dibber, 1. The king of Gitter, 1. The king of Harmah, 1. The king of Arad, 1. The king of Libnah, 1. The king of Adullam, 1. The king of Makkedah, 1. The king of Bethela, 1. The king of Tappuah, 1. The king of Hippur, 1. The king of Aphek, 1. The king of Lesharon, 1. The king of Madon, 1. The king of Hazar, 1. The king of Shimron, Meron, 1. The king of Ashaph, 1. The king of Tanah, 1. The king of Megiddo, 1. The king of Hiddesh, 1. The king of Jokneam of Carmel, 1. The king of Dor, 1. The king of Dor in the coast of Dor, 1. The king of the nations of Gilgal, 1. The king of Tirzah, 1. All the kings, 30 and 1. So a lot of kings there in the Canaanite land that were smote. Again, this was all due to the fact that this was part of the promise and that they were to rely on the Lord. Good, I'm going to do another quick pause here. Okay, so again, there was quite a bit there, and just in case I missed a couple of the verses, I'm going to reread from 5 through 6. And reigned in Mount Hermon, and in Salcah, and in all Bashan, and to the border of the Geshurites, and the Maccathites, and Hath-Galeed, the border of Sihon, king of Heshbon. Them did Moses, the servant of the Lord, and the children of Israel smite. And Moses, the servant of the Lord, gave it for a possession unto the Reubenites, and the Gadites, and the half-tribe of Manasseh. So it's just reminding us, going back to right before as well, that part of the promised land now was on the east side of Jordan, and all the kings that were defeated by Israel and Joshua as well, and Moses going, and then going over the Jordan by Joshua, and all of those kings, 31 in all. That's a lot of kingdoms. Think about that. Think about the mass amount of differences in the different areas, and thinking about this. Let's think about this, bringing past to present in regards to just how we don't see immediately what the Lord has in store for us, and how much work that the Lord can do and has done for us without relying and leaning into the Holy Spirit, without relying and leaning onto the Lord, and forgetting about things of the past, forget about leaning on things that we used to think would help us, but actually lean on someone who we can trust. Before we go on though, what kind of thoughts or feelings come to your mind mind when we read of this? How does it make you feel? What does it make you think?